if you guys like what I do here, we do cover news stories, have conversations. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. So Kraven the Hunter ended its box office run as Sony Spider-Man's universe biggest bomb. And it's explained why the studio was right to remove its 2025 Marvel movie release date. Now, we thought Madam Web was the bottom of the barrel. We thought Morbius. First, we thought Morbius. Now, this is not just shitting on Disney. This is shitting on Sony's movie division. Okay, the only thing they can do really well is Spider-Man. Venom did pretty well, and then each Venom movie afterwards got less and less. But when Morbius came out, people were like, "This is bad," right? And then Madam Web was like, "Hold my beer," and we're like, "There's no way a movie can be worse than Madam Web." And then we had a separate movie called Borderlands, which was absolute just bad. Okay. And then we have Kraven. Okay. Kraven out here. Kraven over here. Worst movie ever. Okay. For Sony. So Kraven the Hunter broke a major negative record for Sony Spider-Man universe, and the film's performance seals the deal for the spin-off Marvel franchise that never really took off. Okay. Well, the spin-off of Morbius, spin-off of Madam Web, and the spin-off of Kraven sealed the deal of there ain't doing nothing with this franchise, these other characters, okay? Never really took off, and the SSU started, okay? That's Sony's universe, okay? Sony's Spider-Man universe started in 2018 with Venom. While Tom Hardy's Venom films have been successful, each subsequent entry of the franchise did less and less at the box office than its predecessor. Adding to that, the rest of the movie's list did not fare well at the box office, with Morbius, Madam Web, and Kraven the Hunter failing. Each one failed. Okay. After Kraven the Hunter released, it was reported that it also would serve as the final movie in the Sony Spider-Man verse or the universe. The studio also has plans of Spider-Man characters who also continue to appear on upcoming Sony/Marvel films and series, like the animated Spider-Verse franchise, Nicolas Cage Spider-Man Nor live-action series, and Tom Holland's continued presence of the MCU as Peter Parker, and more. The final box office numbers for Kraven the Hunter make it clear that Sony is right to end the shared universe right now. I mean, they gave it a shot. Good for you. Good for you. They gave it a shot, but at the same time, they didn't do a very good job, right? So Kraven the Hunter's box office is the worst of Sony Spider-Man's universe. Okay, Kraven the Hunter has finished its world box office run at only $61.8 million. This led to Aaron Taylor Johnson, SSU film, breaking a couple of major negative records for the franchise. Can I just say, this man was already a superhero in the Marvel universe, okay? He was Quicksilver, okay? And then he went on to be Kraven. I hate when they do this. I hate when they take an actor, okay, that was prominent. It doesn't always work, okay? Obviously, Chris Evans was Human Torch, and he became Captain America, and he became a better Captain America than he was Human Torch. But it's really hard for characters to be a prominent character, okay, and then move on over to another character, okay? So Taylor Johnson, not only did Kraven the Hunter, now lowest grossing movie of the Sony Cinematic Universe history here, okay, but it became the only entry in the franchise not to pass $100 million market, okay, at the box office. Madam Web and Morbius, other two box office bombs, grossed $100.5 million, that just squeaked by, and $167.4 million respectively. Now, Sony's Spider-Man franchise is lacking the character and could also help succeed. Now, the news from Kraven the Hunter's box office totals comes after Sony put the final nail in the coffin, as the SSU also, after it reported that the studio is moving from the Spider-Man spin-off franchise. Sony made the reality by removing all untitled Marvel movies from its 2025 release schedule. The film would also have been released in theaters on June 27th, 2025, while the SSU ends its whimper of Tom Holland's Spider-Man's thriving in the MCU. Two of the three Spider-Man movies passed $1 billion, and Spider-Man 4 and the Avengers film appearance on the way. The lack of Spider-Man, despite the characters tilting Sony's Marvel spin-off party, led to the franchise downfall. However, Sony appears to be going all in on the character from now on. This is the best strategy for the studio to recover from the box office bombs like Kraven the Hunter. With the Spider-Verse movies making fans invested in the multiple multiverse versions of Spider-Man, Sony could also keep Tom Holland, Peter Parker in the MCU, and use characters like Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen in live action, with Nicolas Cage, the new Spider-Man's Nor series, pointing out the change in direction for the studio. So let me show you what Kraven did here. Okay. Domestically, Kraven made $25 million. That's crazy. Okay. 25 million. Internationally, it made 36 million. And worldwide, it made 61.9 million, just shy of $62 million. Now, the budget for this movie supposedly was $110 million. $110 million. That's before the budgeting for the market, okay, for the marketing for it. So we're talking 200, maybe 250 million with marketing, and it made less than $62 million. So this was definitely a bomb. Madam Web, basically the same thing. Their budget was around the same budget as this one. Same with Morbius. All three movies have lost over $200 million apiece for each of these films. Now, Spider-Man made close to $2 billion, didn't it not? I mean, Spider-Man, the last Spider-Man film, made almost close to 1.6 or something like that, which is ridiculous, okay? Which is absolutely ridiculous. And now you look at it and go, it doesn't really matter if Venom, Venom 2, Venom 3, Kraven, Madam Web, and Morbius didn't make money, even though Venom did make money. But what I'm showing you is 6 films could have all bombed, and Spider-Man, which the budget, let's say, was $180 to $200 million, made close to $2 billion. So it doesn't really matter if all these other movies bomb. Now, obviously, as Sony doesn't want to have movies bomb like this, but they're also not putting out 10 movies a year or in the franchise. But I think it was a bad move to do the villains as a lead character in any of things, right? Now, if something is right with the comic book realm is that we like our heroes, okay, and we like to see them go up against bad guys. We don't like to see bad guys, which they kind of make like they're like antagonists, protagonists, you know what I mean? They're like anti-superhero. They're not good guys, but they're not bad guys. And this just seems very strange, right? Maybe, just maybe, if they had the balls to do this, if they made a bad guy film where the bad guy was the good guy, you see what I'm saying? Because you're rooting for the bad guy, and he's going up against the good guy. So if it was from a Kraven perspective, and he's going up against Spider-Man, and in his point of view, Spider-Man is the bad guy, and what he's doing is the good guy type of thing, then you might go for that. But taking these bad guy characters, these villains, right, like a Joker, okay, and turning him into like this good guy, not bad guy type of thing, just not going to go, because you need to have an antagonist, right? You can't just have this like generic thing that's going on for the bad guy to interact with. You have to have some sort of story, and that's why a lot of these things don't fly, right? Especially with Morbius and Kraven. I wouldn't want to see like a Doc Ock movie. I don't know about you guys. I would be okay if Doc Ock was in a film. I would be okay if Carnage was in a film, but I'm not okay with Carnage having its own separate movie where it's a bad guy, but they make it into like a good guy type of thing. You know what I mean? But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below or in the live chat. What do you think about Sony moving forward by just dropping this? And they're going all in on Spider-Man, right? So they're going to jump in not just on Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but they're going in on Miles Morales Spider-Man. They're going in with Gwen Spider-Man. They're bringing in Nor Spider-Man with Nicolas Cage. Is this going to backfire in their face because they're just pulling too much from that one tree of Spider-Man? That's the difference between Sony owning just one franchise, right, of the Spider-Man universe, which is a big universe, but Marvel owns all of these things, right? And they're threading each of the things, right? Like we had phase 1, 2, and 3 all combined. They try to do that with 4, 5, and now 6, but there's plenty of different characters and different stories they can tell. Over here, it's the same thing. It's just Spider-Man, just different types of Spider-Man. And I think that could get really old really quick for them if they don't, pay attention to what they're doing. But again, these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of the other videos. Thanks for watching.